Alright, so I kind of wanted to do a full face of e.l.f. makeup. Because it's one of the few brands that I actually have a full face of makeup in. So I decided that's what I was gonna do. So let me just go through some of the products that I'm going to use. So let me just go through some of the products that I'm going to use. That way you're aware and you can choose to hop off or stay on or whatever. So I'm going to use these two bite-sized beauty palettes from e.l.f. I am going to use this e.l.f. Halo Glow. I've mentioned this before. This isn't my favorite, but I do have it. Alright, I am going to use this stuff for my brows. So this is the Instant Brow Lift Pencil, as well as the Clear Brow Mascara. I don't know, you guys tell me. It did actually set my brows in place, but I feel like it doesn't set them in place as well as I want it to. Alright, then I used also this Flawless Satin Foundation from e.l.f. the Putty Bronzer and the Putty Blush. I do actually have two e.l.f. primers. I'm not going to use them, mostly because I don't love them. I used a little bit of this satin concealer and a little bit of the matte one, and now I'm not seeing it on my desk even though it was just here. I used both of them. I also used the setting spray and two of the O-Face satin lipsticks to create this color, and I cheated a little bit because I don't have any e.l.f. lip liners. Does e.l.f. even make lip liner? I don't know. I ended up using this Rimmel lip liner. I tried to use the Rare Beauty one, but it because it was a mechanical pencil, every time it like twisted up, it was like just smashed back down as I was filling it. So I used this Rimmel one, which I actually do like the Rimmel. I also used, alright, lastly, I used the Lash and Roll Mascara, which if your lashes aren't gonna enter the room before you, then what's even the point? And then this HD powder to set everything in. I do love the way that it turned out, so maybe I'm wrong about some of these products because this is looking good. Let me know what you think. Starting out with my eyeballs, because I actually like to do my eyes before I do the rest of my makeup. So I have this green bite-sized beauty palette that I'm loving. It's so pretty. So we're gonna put this on first. All right. I actually really like these bite-sized beauty palettes. They're $3, so you can't beat the price, and they're pretty decent quality. Like even just swatching this gold guy, look at how nice that is. I can't help it. I love it. Alright, we're gonna go in with the slightly darker green, same brush. And we're gonna kind of deepen up this, well, I can change my brush. Alright, so we're gonna go in with that darker shade on a more flat brush and darken out that wing. We're gonna make this a night on the town makeup. This is gonna be, you dumped your boyfriend and you're coming for him. Or he dumped you and you want to show him what he's missing. That's even better. He dumped you, you want to show him what he's missing. That's the kind of, this is revenge makeup I'm thinking. It's kind of on my mind right now. Alright. Super prettily deep. Alright, we're going to go in with that slightly lighter color once again. Kind of bring it in. Then we're going to take this color. Ooh, should I do the yellow? Yeah, we're going to do the yellow. It's going to be like poison. I'm feeling like my makeup should look like, if you got too close, you might be poisoned just from like looking at me too hard. That's the kind of vibe I'm feeling. Alright, so going in with another flat shader brush, we're going to pick up the yellow, spritz this sucker with some setting spray, and we're going to use e.l.f. since full face of e.l.f., so we're going to use this guy. Oh! I dropped some stuff. Spritz that with a little bit more setting spray. We're just going to go in a few times until it's like straight up poison. Alright, that looks good. I'm in a mood tonight, you guys, if you can't tell. Alright, so I've got some like harsh edges right on the edge. So I'm just going to use a little bit of this other Bite Size palette, this light pink shade, because pink and green are kind of opposites on the color wheel, so it's going to help to correct any of that, neutralize it, and just make sure that I don't have any harsh line anymore. So just a little bit of that, kind of swirl it right here. See how that just blended things away? Normally I actually use like a tan color, but since I'm using all e.l.f. today, I didn't have a tan color I could use. I don't have very much e.l.f. eyeshadow. Honestly, mostly because I just don't have it, but... Alright, now that my eyeballs are done, I'm gonna go in and curl our lashes and then pop on some mascara. I have to say, I know people really like this lash and roll. I'm not sure how I feel about it yet. Throw some of this guy on. Like, the wand is really cool. It's like curved, but I feel like it doesn't give what I want it to give. Like, I want my lashes to enter the room before me and to like literally blow you away if I blink my eyeballs, and this one just kind of makes them enter the room before me. It doesn't make them very fan-like. So, I don't know. Very lengthening, not as much volumizing. Which I used to think that's what I liked, but I kind of like my lashes right on the edge of being spidery. So go in with another coat of this. Alright, what do you think? It's just not enough fan action for me. Alright, I'm gonna throw a little bit more on there. I don't know, it's very much not exactly what I look for in a mascara. Like I said, they should enter the room before me. My lashes should enter the room before me, and they should blow you away when I blink. And that's what I want. This stuff ain't giving me that. So, is it a fail? Probably not. If you have way thicker eyelashes than I do, you'd probably like this. Or if you're just looking for lengthening and not thickening, I don't like that. Alright. Moving on to, let's do eyebrows next. I don't know if I have an eyebrow. Oh, I do have an eyebrow pencil. I was really worried for a second. This one's really cheap too. It's this little guy. I'm just gonna lightly fill them in, and then we'll use, normally I actually like something a little bit more substantial on my brows, but since this is a full face of e.l.f., we're just going for it. I actually often use the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Freeze. You have to be careful not to add too much, but I do like the hold that it gives my brows. If I haven't added too much, that is. If I've added too much, then it's too much. But since we're using e.l.f., I'm actually going to use this stuff. It's the clear brow mascara. I've used it a few times. I feel like it doesn't really have much hold. I don't think it's supposed to. I've used it a few times and I'm kind of still trying to decide what I think about it. See, it doesn't give much. Like, it fluffed them up a little bit, but it doesn't really stay fluffed up, especially with my stubborn brows. So, I don't know. We'll see. I'll probably finish it up. Okay. Brows done. Okay, so after I have my eyes all done, typically then I'll go in and do my face makeup. So I'm gonna actually prep my skin really quick and then I'll be right back. Alright, so my skin is prepped. I did not use e.l.f. to prep my skin because I actually don't have any e.l.f. skincare, I don't think. So, moving on, we're going to start with our base makeup. I've talked about this before. It's the Halo Glow. It's supposedly a dupe for Charlotte Tilbury. But I don't really feel like it's a dupe. I feel like it's a little bit too much, but we're going to go in with it anyways. And then we might use some as some highlight. Just like a few lines. That seems like a lot, but we'll see. Alright, I'm going to use my beauty blender and just tap some of that out. I really want to start out glowy because I feel like this foundation that we're going to use, I don't know how, it's been a while since I've used it, and if I remember correctly, it didn't love my skin all that much. Or my skin didn't love it, because my skin is sometimes very picky when it comes to foundation products. This side, is it just me or does this side look more glowy than this side? We're gonna go back in, add a little bit here, maybe some on my forehead and the nose. And, alright, now that I look like a Tin Man that you can see from outer space, we're gonna go in with the e.l.f. foundation. So this is the one that I have. It's the Flawless Satin Foundation, and I honestly have never really heard all that much about this foundation. I kind of bought it on a whim because I was curious. So we're gonna use this. I have used it before, and like I said, it didn't impress me enough that I was like, oh, I've gotta use it all the time. It was just, it was okay. It wasn't bad. Do you see how thick that is? It's like literally not moving down on my finger at all. Okay. We're gonna do one more pump for the other side. Make it nice and even. Alright. The satin foundation is coming in. Okay. I feel like I darkened up my complexion with the Halo Glow and then I'm lightening it back up with this foundation. It feels a little counterintuitive to me. I don't know about that match. I'm feeling a little bit ghostly right now. We're gonna fix that though. This hydrating camo concealer, I actually really like this stuff. Every time I use it, I'm always reminded how far a little bit goes, but also how like creamy it is. I'm a fan of the Kosas Revealer Concealer, so if you need a reference point, I like this one. I want to say just as much. We're gonna, I normally don't highlight with my concealer, but today I'm going to. And I typically like to highlight my jaw so that it doesn't look like I have as much of a double chin. Alright, let's blend that in, starting with the eyeballs. We're gonna have to bronze a lot. That's okay though. I'm in a mood today, so I feel like looking like I'm about to murder someone might be a good idea. That's already looking real good. I feel like I look a little bit like a crazy person right now because I don't typically wear this much makeup, especially like typically I would mix the Halo Glow in with my foundation, but I've never actually worn it underneath, so I kind of wanted to try it at the same time, so I did. All right, now that we've got our concealer on, let's go ahead and brighten our complexion back up. I feel like I'm looking very flat right now, not loving that. So we're gonna go back in with, first let's do some bronzer because like I said, I look flat right now. So we're gonna do this e.l.f. Putty Bronzer. I'm not gonna lie, the first time I tried this, I hated it. Then I tried it again and I didn't hate it quite as much. And now I'm trying it again. So we'll see how I feel after this. I feel like it's a commercial. After this short break. Okay. Not horrible. Here's the thing. It's very, very lightweight, which almost feels like I'm not putting anything on, and then I feel like I start to overdo it. And I feel like this is one that people are like, it's impossible to overdo it. And I'm like, bro, show me a bronzer and I can overdo it. I can overdo any sort of makeup. So, oh, I'm already looking a lot less ghostly. Or a lot less albino black, I don't know. Alright, now under the jaw, this kind of helps me to look like I don't have a double chin. I don't know if you can see the difference side to side. I always can see a difference, but sometimes people don't know what I'm doing. So just a little bit on this side. So I have a nice, beautiful jawline. Very nice. I'm going to use what's left over. I don't normally contour my face, but like I said, I'm really feeling revenge makeup today. So revenge makeup with e.l.f. Let's see if it can happen. Alright. We're going to put a little bit here because I wanted just a tiny bit more on my nose. Alright, and then just a little bit under my lip will help it look like I have a lot more of a pucker. That's really not the way that people say it, is it? Sometimes I say stuff and I'm like, is that the right terminology? Probably not. Oh well. Alright, so we are also going to use the e.l.f. Putty Blush. This one is kind of the same way. The first time I used it, I wasn't sure about it, and I'm slowly deciding I don't hate it. I still don't know that I like it though. I've definitely used worse, but I think that just because I've used worse doesn't mean that I have to say I like it. Like, just because I've used worse doesn't mean that I would ever purchase it again or recommend it to my friends. I've heard that the Luminous, well, I don't think they have a Luminous Putty Blush, but they do have a Luminous Putty Bronzer, and I've heard that that one is a lot different, or not a lot different, but it definitely is different. All right, so I went a little heavy-handed with that, so we're just gonna tap, tap, tap. We want revenge makeup, but not clown makeup. Next, we're gonna go ahead and add some more Halo Glow on. Because I don't actually have a highlighter in e.l.f. That is one of the few things that I don't have. I'm actually gonna mix, because the Halo Glow is a little bit too dark to be like a really pretty highlight. So I'm gonna mix a little bit on the back of my hand, and we're gonna mix it with some of a lighter concealer from e.l.f. This one is the matte finish one. I used the hydrating, or not the hydrating, the satin finish one. So we're just gonna mix these together because this one's just a little bit lighter. And then we're gonna apply it. Let's see. Oh, I want that to be just a little bit lighter. Yeah, I was right. A little bit lighter. All right. What are we thinking? I'm gonna go in and add just a little bit of stuff under my eyes, touch up the blush, and then we'll look at the finished result. All right, so under the eyes, Oh, I need to set that before it gets too crazy. I'm like creasing. Alright, so the only e.l.f. setting powder that I have is this HD powder, and it is a translucent powder. The one thing that I like is it does have a little dial that you can turn so it doesn't all come out. So I like to use a powder puff to apply my powder, and I'll like dip it in here, but then I'll actually tap the excess off, normally on the back of my hand. So I'll like come in like this. That just, because my eyes are so dry, that just gets all of the extra powder off so that I'm not like setting my creases in, and so that it's not like, it doesn't look like my face is straight up like powdered. Do this side too. I'm thinking I'm gonna actually bake that right there. I almost never do stuff like that, but like I said, revenge makeup for the win. All right, I am going to be Cake Face City, and I don't even care. All right, so while that's baking, we're gonna do lips. I do not have very much e.l.f. lip products, so this is what we're gonna do. We're going to start with this. I don't have a lip liner. Oh, I hate doing a red without a lip liner. All right, I've committed. So, actually, that looks really good together. This would not be one of my videos unless I did a seductive lip bite. I know, so fierce. All right, now, oh, I messed up some of my lipstick with that seductive lip bite. Okay, now, I don't know that this red lip is really speaking to me, so we're gonna like ombre it out with this pinky color, and it's still the e.l.f. O-Face satin lipsticks. All right. Last step, and I know no one would ever do all three of these steps. You know when you like get on and you watch people apply makeup and they're like, and then I'm gonna do this, and then I'm gonna do this. I'm like, bro, no one's gonna do that on an everyday basis. Well, I'm gonna do it right now. So I'm also going to use a little bit of the concealer really quick to kind of mute this out a little bit. Just a little bit more. All right. Partially I did this because I didn't actually have the color that I wanted. Now, if it was a little bit more brown around the edges, I think that'd be perfect. Okay, you guys, I'm gonna cheat a little bit. I'm gonna put a little bit of brown. I'm gonna use this Rare Beauty lip liner. So ignore me while I cheat. I'm gonna dust some of this bake off, and then we're going to fix the lips. All right, this one will work a little bit better, because I can press a little bit harder with this one. What do you think? I don't know that I like the lips still, but we're gonna move on. There's actually a few things I'm not liking, but I feel like I'm looking like Poison and a little bit revengey, especially compared to normal. So we're gonna take this out, hairspray my hair a little bit, and go from there. All right, let's see. I don't normally have straight hair, so sometimes I'm like, oh, this is what people with straight hair have to deal with, and then I end up doing like crazy things to get it to like do what I want it to. Now that my face and hair have been hairsprayed, let's set our face with this setting spray. What do you guys think of a full face e.l.f. I wish that was a finer mist. Ooh, that's a lot. Alright, I'm actually really liking how this turned out, even though I didn't think that I would. So you'll have to let me know what you think. Bye!